reflect those of WSMN, its owners, and/or associates.
Lisa and Robin are two fun friends diving deep into conversations where nothing is taboo. They believe in eating dessert before dinner and wearing the bikini. They're allergic to labels, authority, and cheap shoes. Currently, they're launching themselves through life being the good time, bold enough to take risks and inquisitively asking, what's next? They hail from New Hampshire, but they could be anywhere dressed in cute clothes. If they had to share a tombstone, it would read, "Curiosity killed these cats." Your hosts, Lisa and Robin on the mic.
Welcome. Welcome to Lisa and Robin on the mic. You are listening on WSMN 1590 AM, 95.3 FM. You can watch, stream, and listen on WSMN.live, as well as YouTube and every way you find your favorite podcast. I can't look at Robin because she's going to make me laugh.
I was finishing up my little snack. Just eating my orange, getting my fiber. And I was like, well, I forget you're on the camera sometimes. And I'm like, well, you know what? I am totally unprofessional. I don't think I would ever be professional. Ever.
It's funny because when I switch into professional mode, especially on the phone, I have a different voice.
See, I don't know if I do or not.
Well, it's calmer. It's slower. It's just, there's, where in real life I am a mile a minute, 100%.
Yeah, you definitely do. You definitely can switch into business mode. I don't know that I do because I always still bring sarcasm and a little bit of...
I try to be authentically in my business, but because I'm self-employed.
I always bring a little bit of unprofessionalism to my professional side. I can't help it. I don't know.
Well, and I don't think we're in any type of living where it's like, oh God, are they having a good time?
Right.
It's so not allowed.
I don't like boring people.
It was funny. I was reading on Instagram,
people.
All of you people who had talks too much on their report card, what do you do for a living? And I'm like, I talk for a living. Pretty much talking all of the time for a living. So that worked out.
I had on my report card, she's a social butterfly.
Pretty much. But actually, you've tamped that down. You're only a social butterfly in the right environment.
Yes. I'm a little bit more protective of my space. Yes.
You're like, not general public. I don't want GPs.
I would tell my story to anybody who listened, like a stranger, whatever. And I'm like, nah, I have learned discernment and discretion.
Yes.
But not always. Chris is like, I cannot believe you said that. And I'm like, well, that might have been the margarita. It might have been the Mai Tai. I can't tell. Sophie's coming out.
So I decided I've been following this, your favorite Slavic sister on Instagram, and I decided one of my very sarcastic voices is going to be Russian.
Yes, it should
It's
be.
going to have a Russian accent.
Natasha.
And there was one where she was giving you three phrases to learn. And I'm like, oh, if we ever go to Russia, we're going to have to learn the one, I'm sorry, I didn't know smiling was illegal. And she actually has. I'm gonna.
You have to send that to me because I would like to follow.
Learn it.
I would like to follow her.
And we were watching Gangs of London. Very, very violent, very, very mob-esque type show. And we I don't know if it's the editors aren't understanding that the music is a little louder than their voices, and when you add their accents and the whispering type voices, we can't hear what they're saying, so we had closed captions on. Now we watch everything in closed caption. And it's really funny. I've been watching, have you seen The Hunting Wives? On
I don't think
Netflix.
so.
So Netflix said, it's positive, I'm going to enjoy this based on my other things.
Are you enjoying it?
I could enjoy it. I know. So I'm trying. I don't want to make someone else not watch it. But based on what I actively watch on Netflix, I watch Trailer Park Boys on repeat. I watch every comedian that has a special. And we did just watch Gangs of London. So I don't know how, based on my preferences, Hunting Wives came up. I think it's lying. I think it just means everyone's watched this. There's nothing else on. What are you going to watch?
So have you seen Platonic?
No.
It has Rose Byrne in it and Seth Rogen. and they're best friends. It is so cute.
Is it a romance?
Well, she's married to Luke McFarlane.
Is it bad? I don't know who these people are. I know.
Oh my God, you would know him.
I know
you
who
would
Seth
know.
is. But.
This is her. That's Rose. She has an Australian accent.
Oh, I love an Australian accent.
Oh my gosh, she's so funny. But those two together, the dynamic, and just so we just got out of, we just got into a space where, like, I just want to watch something light. I don't want to watch any, like, drama. I don't heartache.
Sure, and you don't want anything that's 8 episodes.
Yes.
So that's what Hunting Wives is 8 episodes. And I'm kind of knee deep into it. And I was like, wow, they're really throwing everything in the kitchen sink to throw you off track on who it might be. And I think 50% of it is distracting enough that I'm like, I wish we just didn't have this.
Yeah.
And that's all I'm going to say until you see it.
Okay.
And then when you...
I wrote it down, so we'll
Okay.
definitely watch that one.
But there is so what ended up... I could have almost... The first episode I thought was good. Then the second episode I was like, am I even going to like this? But I'm like, who murdered the girl? And is the blonde girl Abby or is blonde girl Sophie? So I didn't even know who was murdered. So that's what kept me going.
Oh.
And then you find out in like 3, it's Abby.
Okay, don't tell me.
And now you're going to go from there. So the opening scene is the murder.
Okay.
So I didn't give anything away too much.
Okay.
But then I was, do you have a pet peeves about handshakes?
I'm not really a pet peeve. Like, am I hesitant to shake hands?
Or when people shake your hands, are you judging their handshake?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm a wicked handshake judger.
I do judge how they hold my hand, or how they take my hand, or if it's sweaty.
That even bothers me less than crunching. Like, there is so many different, and we should do a little reel about terrible
you don't mind
handshakes.
clammy hands?
I haven't shook a number of clammy hands, and I think everyone who knows they have clammy hands goes like this on their pants
but
and
it's
fixes
still
that.
moist, warm and moist.
I haven't
See, I
had
used
a
to
lot
have
of
like
moist
I
ones.
didn't. It's taken me 17 years to get used to, like, I would Chris was out mowing or something, and I went in to hug him. He's like, "Oh, don't touch me, I'm sweaty," because I used to not like I don't like it touch sweaty skin at all.
So
and I will not put my finger in a belly button if I can't see the end of it. I don't.
Well, have you ever
I thought we were talking about pet peeves.
We are. We can talk about this because I also think, and this is going to go back to like teenage days, but like, don't stick your finger in my belly button a bunch. Like, it's not an orifice that you need to put your fingers in. Yeah. I don't know if you're just excited that there's some.
It does not stimulate me in any way.
In any way, shape, or form.
But I used to, like, I got my finger stuck in a Coke bottle one time, and it makes me panic. Like, so I still don't even like.
Yeah.
I don't like even getting a flosser stuck between my teeth. There's like something that's
you don't want to be
happen
strangled or held down.
Yeah, and sometimes I've seen some deep belly buttons, and I'm like, I don't know what's the bottom of that.
Yeah. Okay.
It's kind of like touching the bottom of the lake.
Yes. So I will say that I have pet peeves about bad handshakes. I think everyone should practice and learn what a good handshake is, because it's a blight on your personality unnecessarily.
I feel like I go in for a pretty strong handshake.
What
All
makes
right,
a good handshake?
I don't know.
I think it's going all the way up to the thumb.
Yes, that's a good handshake.
Because I don't like this. Try it again. When they catch your fingers or they cramp.
Yeah.
See, that's a terrible. And I hate
yes.
the limp, like they're
But
not
if
giving
I
anything
don't
back.
know, if I don't know you or something like that, then I will usually do a ladies.
You will do a ladies?
I will do this one.
That's because you're Southern.
But if I'm like heartfelt bear hug, you're
getting it wrong.
your thumb to the wrist.
Yeah.
I'm going deep.
I'm going deep.
Or if I'm grateful or very
Yes.
appreciative, then I'm.
And I think there's like a 1 or 2 pump. That's good. Any more than the 1 or 2 pump, you're not trying to bring up water
Yes.
from a well.
Yes, or they keep shaking your hand and shaking your hand.
Or they won't let it go.
Yes.
or they pull and grab your arm. I don't like that. Like, don't give give me a frozen shoulder,
or
from
don't
a ripped
lean in
leg.
for a peck on the cheek. I don't know you.
Yeah, I get that.
I don't know you.
Yeah, I get that. And so I don't like I don't like the limp fish where,
Yes.
like, am I supposed to now shake your hand? So
Yeah.
one of the things, so we've talked about this, in my personal life a lot, because we've told people you have a crappy handshake. We need to work on this. Or and they'd be like, no, whatever. Or I don't want to be the guy who like really clamps down. And it's like, well, learn firm. You don't have to squeeze or, so we've had this conversation a number of times. And one of our friends, Ronnie, wherever you are, Ronnie, I think of you on every handshake because every time we would see each other, we wouldn't hug and we would each give each other an awful handshake. And
oh, that's funny.
So one of the things is like, we're trying to not give the other one because two dead fishes, nothing happens. Like, so, or the clamp, when you clamp someone's fingers and they can't go in. So yeah, I'm a
All right,
I'm a
so
pet
when you
peeve
hold
Eric.
hands, do you go for the top or do you go for the bottom?
I'm not allowed to pick the hand holding thing. My significant other has very specific things about hand holding, and he always cracks my fingers, which I wish he wouldn't
But like
do.
even if you're gonna say that you're doing it at like a women's retreat, or you're somewhere where you're gonna stand in a circle and grab hands.
For
do
30
you
years,
over
I
or
have,
under?
For 30 years, I have had to, because he will move my hand to make it more comfortable for him. So whatever you need. Whatever you need. Holding hands, I'm happy we're holding hands, whatever you need. For like little kids, I'm probably under.
Under? Let them be over?
Yeah. I will be an under.
See, I feel like, yeah, I'm much more comfortable under, because that's surrendering. It's like saying it is surrendering about I will let you take the lead.
Yeah.
And I notice, because we say grace every night at dinner and we'll hold hands. And so I will always put my hands, because most of the guys are beside me too. But even with Kayla, I will put my hands over.
receive.
And when they were kids and we were walking, I was definitely hands over.
Okay.
But when Chris and I are holding hands, like walking down the street, his hand is so big in my hand that I have to hold his hand and my pinky is out. Like I only do like these.
Yeah.
I can't hold all of them because it stretches my fingers.
And when I do something, John will take my hand and like move it, and so it's comfy for him because he's got big, huge paws too.
Yeah.
And he was saying so many people really try to crush his hands because he's a big guy and he has big hands. So I think people get
they want to
intimidated
with strength.
Yeah, and it's like, but he doesn't do that. He just is a normal, not even firm because he's got bear strength.
Yeah.
So he like.
He's like,
so
there you go.
I cannot tell you how many times he's like, I don't understand why you can't pick this up. I'm like, because it's 87 pounds. He's like, no, it's not. It's 40. We put it on the scale. It's 92 pounds. We went to FedEx and you were supposed to keep it under 50 pounds. And I kept saying, it's not under 50 pounds.
Yeah.
And he kept saying, yes, it is. And I'm like, it's not. And then we get there and it's like 120 pounds. He's like, oh, is that why you couldn't lift it? I'm like, yeah, because you don't know your strength.
Right.
Like you have such strength.
Right.
Which is why I love him. I picked him for that.
Yes.
I'm not complaining, but stop saying I'm weak. It's 120 pounds. I'm a girl. And I keep saying now,
the body strength is so different.
There's this really funny Tom Papa joke where he says, you don't want to marry some weak, thin little woman. You want a woman with a strong back who can make sauce and build a treehouse, lift the couch with a cigarette in her mouth. Like, that's who you need in your life.
Get a weed whack and use a chainsaw.
And so ever since that joke, I've used that. Like, you should have married the Russian with a big back. You got me.
It's true.
Right? That's what you picked. That's on you.
That's true.
Yeah, so the closed captions, I've been loving, ominous music, pensive music. Like the descriptions, I'm like, wow, this is indistinct chatter.
Chris does not like watching closed captions, and the kids will put their closed captions on. So he's like, who put the and I'm like, after a while, you just don't even see it anymore.
Oh, I read it.
I mean, I read it, but after a while, it doesn't bother you anymore.
Yes.
It's like now I would much rather read the words.
And I find it helpful because sometimes I'm like, what did they say?
Yeah.
What did they say? Because the music, and I don't know if it's our sound system so good, the music is the same volume as the words.
Well, we have a remote. Like, this is what I think. Well, I mean, intentionally they do commercials louder. Hey, wake up and see me. But a lot of times, it's something about the sound, and we have a sound bar. It says that you can take the voices and raise the voices and lower the sound on it, but it doesn't work quite the way it should work.
I just feel like
Still not
back in
quite
the
enough.
day, you could the music would be background and ancillary, and now I feel like the music is setting the tone to such an amount. It's not really.
Maybe it's because the acting has gone downhill, and so now they've got to use the music to get you in that emotional space because the words cannot do it.
Yeah, so it's really funny because watching The Hunting Wives with closed captions has been funny. You know, a lot of indistinct chatter and pensive music and chuckling and giggling and chuckles, a lot of chuckles, not a lot of giggles.
Glass breaking in the background.
Yes.
All right, so what do you have for us to do?
I wanted to do the disillusionment.
Disillusionment.
So, one of the chapters is about manifesting. Ooh, sorry, my phone died. Sorry, ears. Sorry, ears, speaking of that. And so it says, manifestation gone wrong. You manifest what you believe, not what you want. Sonia Riccati. Now that you're completely delusional, you are in the perfect place to manifest. So, wait, then did I miss the how to be delusional? Hold on. There's a page about being delusional. Oh, nope, this must be it. Do I hear Prince?
Yes. I was trying to pull up my thing about disillusionment, and it, you know.
You are in the perfect place to manifest. We are kind of obsessed with the idea that your life can improve with the right mindset. Obviously, there are many obstacles, opportunities, and random life throws at you, but learning about what brings you joy is the first step. Now let's try to manifest. So Hannah's method is... I really believe in manifestation, but not like write this 1,000 times in your journal and it will come true. More like believe so deep in your gut that you're already what you want to be. It's similar to the idea of happiness. You do not have to chase happiness. It is within you. You just find it. Mm-hmm. So, and I'm going to go to...
You just have to let it out.
Pages methods. If you've been listening this far, or I guess reading, well, then good for you. You are officially a woman in STEM. Of course, the M stands for manifesting. And let's just say I love a TikTok psychic just as much as the next person. But you know me. I have a tough time believing anything they say. Because Hannah and Paige are perfectly opposite, but they're still best friends.
Yeah.
So they have two different takes on things. So I love hearing their different takes on things. And then it says, the way I like to manifest is extremely page-coded. It is another excuse for me to make a list. I like to have 5-year unrealistic goals. It doesn't have to be long, but it has to be totally unattainable. And that's the beauty of manifesting. You make it whatever you want. It all depends on how you feel about yourself or whatever Brene Brown says. I use these lists as a guide for what I'd like to accomplish professionally and personally. I look at it once a month. I want to find the actual part. Oh, find a pencil or a pen or a Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk lip liner and write 5 things that you want to manifest in your life. I have to find the actual section about how they are disillusioned. Let me find that.
Okay, so you are not who you think you are. You're who you practice being.
Yes.
I like that.
Okay, Paige's delusions. Some people would call me delusional, and I would agree. I would also add that I'm stupid. Who knew being a below-average student would help my career? I say this with the purest intentions and self-awareness because I finally understand the saying that ignorance is bliss. And then she says that what she wanted, people would be like, oh, she's delusional. Like, there's no way she's going to have that. But it's in the delusion that allows her the belief system that, well, why not? You know, one of my more delusional moments was when I convinced my parents that if I moved to New York, I would work in entertainment and actually be successful at it. And here she is, has been working in entertainment and very successful at it. When I was working as an assistant at ABC, I had an idea for front page news. And instead of it being P-A-G-E, it's the spelling of her name. I honestly don't remember being nervous, which was clearly delusional, but my fear came later when people started to talk about it, which seems backwards. Wasn't that the outcome I wanted, for people to see me and follow me? So then why did I become nervous? I hated working in an office. After my first paycheck, I cried to my mom because there was no possible way I was going to be able to do this for the next 30 years of my life.
Yeah.
So what I love about the idea, so I think we all have to have some kind of fantasies. In our dreams are a fantasy at first, but it's the action that takes you there. She had to move to New York. She had to get a job at ABC. You know, there were all of these different steps. But the delusional piece is in everyone else was going to say, well, what's so special about you? Everybody wants that job. How are you going to get it? You know, all of those.
I don't know. That's not mine.
That's not my
problem.
That's not my business. That's not my business. How
I know. Chris is trying to talk to me about. He was trying to talk to me about business something, and I was like, "Oh, what about this idea? What about this idea?" And he's like, "No, you got to create a funnel, and you got to do this, and you got to do this, and you got to put this in place, and you got to do this." And I was like, and then I just said something else, and I was like, "Oh my God, did you see those 2 hummingbirds?" And he's like, "Are you not interested in this at all?" And I'm like, "No."
The minute you say funnel, I am so disinterested. Unless it's funnel cake, and we are at a carnival.
The minute you said something about business.
Oh, I love business. It's funny because...
I know, I do too. I think I can actually be good at business because I think I'm great at managing money, and I feel like I'm pretty good at managing a household and a team of people.
Organizational, and the organization of it.
I just don't want to spend time. I feel like it just comes. I don't want to spend time talking about it or putting it in place. And maybe that's immature on my part. But
well, no, you're the leader. Everyone has to do the work. There needs to be the work people underneath it, but there has to be a leader. There has to be a leader with a vision and the idea.
Well, collectively, I think everybody has the yes.
Not everyone is the leader. Some people are like, I don't want to think of anything. Just tell me what to do and I'll do it.
But I don't see myself as the leader in I want to do what I want to do. Like even like when I wanted to do boudoir photography, I didn't want to think about the ins and outs of the business details of it. I feel like, I'll just kind of find my way into it.
Yeah.
I want to, because I know that will take away from my creativity and my desire to like create art in the photography or thinking about that. And then I've got to think about the back end of it.
So many people have. So this is the challenge for all of us, right? You have something that you love, photography. Okay, now it needs to make money, business. Some people aren't good at both. They're only good at one.
Yes.
And that's where, and this is the problem with an entire generation of people who have to be self-employed. I don't want to be everything. I don't want to be everything. I want to be the things I'm good at because I have these strengths. But every time I'm required to do the things I'm bad at, I either procrastinate, don't do them well, and I'm taking away from the time and the energy of doing the things that I do really well.
Well, then you want to be a business owner. You don't want to be self-employed because self-employed is you don't have any other, but you've got to start. Obviously you've got to start unless you have a partner that says, hey, let's build this business together and let's do this. You can be the integrator and I will be the visionary.
Right. But the problem is you get 2 visionaries coming together or 2 integrators coming together. And the other thing is it's also, I am a firm believer that you have to practice doing the things that you don't like because no one likes working out. No one likes running. No one likes lifting heavy weights, but you have to do those things. That discipline of doing the thing that you don't want to do is actually what helps make
until
you
don't have to do it anymore.
Until you don't have to do it anymore. But there also is an element of the more time and energy I spend doing the things that I don't want to do, I am taking away from the gift that I have.
Yes. So that's why I don't want to dabble in it too much. Like we don't need to have a long conversation about, yes, you need to set it up this way, and this way, or you need this, and this. And then I don't need to know the breakdown of it. I do not need to watch a YouTube video on how to do Excel. You're going to lose me.
Right. I also think it's really interesting.
My dream.
Because you were saying that, and I want to say it the way you say it, but I don't. I kind of am putting it through my filter and putting it back out.
Work is a dirty word.
That's you.
No.
I will say that I have a clean house at the moment. I actually had cleaners help me come in and do a deep clean.
Nice.
And so I cleaned for about 5.5 hours before they showed up. And then they cleaned.
Totally defeats the purpose.
It's not because I remove everything from counters so they can just get into the dirt part. They're not having to move things.
Your house is not dirty.
I know, but it is.
All right, so what were you going to say?
Oh, I was going to talk about, and then you said the work thing.
Oh.
And then I was like, I don't want to clean my house. Speaking of work. Speaking of work. WERK. Back to the piece of like, what are my gifts? What do I do really well? What can I offload? But the minute I truly believe that I am not alone. I can't be the only one who is sick of, if I look at a video, you're going to make me watch a 48-minute video before you tell me the answer.
Right.
You drew me in with a 3-second hook.
Right.
And now you're going to make me watch a 45-minute video. And then, you know why? That's the funnel. You know what? You would get so many more sales. You would have got me with the 3-second hook if I could have bought on second 5.
Yeah.
But what you did was you lured me into your funnel.
And now you made it boring.
And now I have to watch I don't have 45 minutes, dude. And now and then you want to capture my email and you just sell me the thing.
Right.
$45 I would have been done. It was this amino acid product.
Sell me and then you can have my email.
And then when you send me, then you will have my email.
Yeah.
And I don't think, I truly believe that we're doing the thing that has worked for somebody else and somewhere else. And it's not necessarily working for everybody. And now that you're all doing the same thing, you've now bored out your consumer.
Yeah.
And like when I was thinking, someone was talking to me about the cookbook, you're going to make a funnel. I'm like, I'm not making a funnel. Hey, do you want to buy this book? Buy now. It's going to be three things you have to click and it's done.
Right.
No, you're not going to watch a 45-minute video of it. You're not. I'm not going to convince you
to the audio version of it
first. It's going to be buy here, click now, no
Yeah.
funnel. I honestly don't even care about your email. What am I going to do with it later? Sell it off to somebody? You're not reading those emails. I am not reading the emails. Everyone's like, you got to have a newsletter. Have you read a newsletter in the last 12 months?
No.
So let's all stop doing the thing that everybody else does. When I hear the word funnel, it's like, ooh, I got a hive. I got a hive in the crook of my elbow.
Just one?
Yeah, because just the word funnel. And I know everybody's like, this is why you're not successful in this. No, I don't believe that.
No.
Because I can't be alone.
Because if it's meant to be, it's meant to be, and it will find its legs. It will find its legs. And, good marketing, good marketing, putting it out there, doing the right I don't know. Because I could say that because that's kind of creating a funnel too. You're creating a knowledge of like, hey, where to go to find this book, where to go to get this, but I'm not going to hard sell you on anything. And promoting marketing is a little bit different. So,
and there is the element of I'm not ready to buy today, but I'm interested in more information. But not every single thing is a 45-minute video. Haven't we learned we don't
see? I don't click on those ads anymore because like something will catch your eye and it says take this or click below, and then it's that now they want to ask you 15 questions, and I'm like, nope, back out right away.
But there's a couple of things that I'm like, oh, that's interesting, and then when I click on it,
in one, then I don't know.
Well, what they're trying to do, in my opinion, if you ask me about the psychology of spending. If I spend 45 minutes with you, I have to buy it because I've wasted so much time. And you've given me 100 reasons why it works. All I'm going to do is go to...
Or upsell you on more products because, this one works with this and this one works with that. And if you get this, then you should use that. So it's
But think of all the people who just are losing interest at 45 minutes. Just try it. Try something different. Universe, try it differently. Just see.
15 seconds. I would not sit for 45 minutes to learn about amino acids. Like, I don't know if that's my ADD,
and then
my neurodivergent brain.
And you know what I told myself? I was like, I don't need to watch this. I've read so many books about amino acids.
That is not fun. Bye-bye.
I'm like, I know about it. And that's the thing that I was thinking is, because what the ad was we all have to take creatine now. We're all, especially if you're menopausal or premenopausal, or you once were you have a meno or a pause, anything in this world, you are deficient in creatine. And then someone's like, no, but it's creatine with tourmaline. And then you're wait a minute, isn't it all the amino acids? I'm not making protein with one amino acid. I'm making protein with all of the amino acids. That's why they are building blocks. You can't take the B of the alphabet and be like, I'm making everything.
Right.
And so then I'm like, and then I was like, oh, thank God this guy. Now I don't need any of his supplements.
See, there you go.
I'm all set on the
You just
supplement.
sold me right out of not getting it.
Oh, okay. That's my 10 minutes on the funnel. Let's not use the F word again. Let's not use the F word.
In the work.
Yeah, that's hers is a 4-letter word. Mine is a F-U-N-N-E-L. Mine's a 6-letter word. Oh, so what do you think about the idea of being delusional as like the idea or the role of delusion, fantasy, dreaming in everyday life? Because you can be completely fantastical in your idea and be the guy walking down the street yelling like the guy I passed this morning.
Yes.
You know, he is a little delusional of whatever.
We have quite a few of them out there. But I think that's because I feel like when people say you're delusional, it's always been associated with negative words.
But I might try being more delusional.
See, I think you should. I honestly do, because I think that I think how you show up in the world, like what you create. And, you know, Chris was like, "Are you going to wear that today?" I'm like, I am. I feel a little bit country. I feel a little bit feminine, a little bit sassy. And so I'm like, yeah, I'm delusional. Like, because I'm walking down Main Street, and like nobody else is dressed like me. And most of the time when I go out to the store, nobody else is dressed like me. And so I think you do get attention from it. I don't do it for attention. I dress because of the way I feel inside of me. And so that is a little bit delusional, or me creating our own reality. I mean, look at how many people could have said, "You two, you're doing a radio show?" Like, what?
Oh, I can't tell you how many people have told me, like, what do you even talk about?
Right.
And it's like,
I can't believe you drive that car. I can't believe you do this. Or why are you always doing that?
And if you look at everything as, instead of taking it as an insult, it's, you probably have nothing to talk about for 2 hours.
True.
I never
Boring
shut up.
Stuff, me.
I never shut up.
So see,
I can talk to strangers. I can talk to anybody.
I have a hard time making that word delusional fit into my world, because we actually see, to me, I feel like that's a bumper word. That's like stay in the boundaries. That's not creating a space for you to actually dream. And I think it's people on the other side that haven't given themselves permission to dream, or permission to be who they are, or explore who they are. I feel like that's where that word comes from.
So I like it because, to me, it's so outrageous of a dream that people think it's not in your wheelhouse, and now I know you're dreaming big enough.
Yeah, that's
so when I wanted to be in aviation, every single person, from my guidance counselor to someone I worked with, and they said, "You're never going to do that." And I didn't argue. I didn't say, "You watch me." It's like,
yeah,
I'm 16, 17, 18, 19. I don't even care what you say.
Right.
You're an adult. Like,
right.
I'm not listening
Right.
to you no matter what. So I'm certainly not going to listen to you about this.
Zip it.
And so it's interesting because other people's opinion didn't matter, because I had my dream and it was big enough.
Yes. And that's confidence. That's confidence.
Or delusion, because I was 16.
True.
I had never been in a small plane. I didn't know anyone who flew a small
But
plane.
sometimes it's, yes, so you didn't know better to be, like, you didn't know all the business aspects of it. You know, that's what I was talking about.
How much does
Chris
it
is like,
cost? How are you going to pay for it?
He's like, if you're
I'll
going to
have
start a
7
business,
jobs.
you should know about business. And I'm like, well, I'll figure it out as we go. But it is kind of like,
So I think if someone says your dreams are delusional, they're probably big enough. Because I think there is an element of being big enough that you're including so much, because you don't know what you don't know. And you still want to allow, because if you knew everything, then you would be going down that road and your opportunity could be on the side street.
Think about kids and their imagination, and even kids, they don't know they don't know any better to dream big. I want to be a rocket scientist. I want to do this, or I want to do this, or can we do this? They don't know. So I think ignorance, having a little bit of healthy ignorance, is a good thing. You know.
Yeah, don't be a know-it-all.
Well, yeah, but sometimes what stops us is knowing all the details of it, or knowing how hard it's going to be. You know, it's like, I had daughter in medical school, and she's like, I just got my bill, and it's, $90,000, and guess what it's going to be next year? And I'm like, don't look at it that way. Look at it as an investment in your dream. Don't look at it as a deficit, because it's going to all work out in the end. You'll figure it out, but don't let that derail you, because you know how many times people don't go and do these careers that they want to go to? They don't want to go to law school or medical school or all of these things because there's such an overwhelming sense of debt. And we get bogged down in the fog or the worry, the stress of, oh, well, I can't do that, or that's going to require too much work. That's going to be, what did you just say to me earlier? What you just said to Chris? Hard.
Oh, I said easy becomes hard, and hard becomes easy.
Yes.
So everything, so when you think about, I could go work out today, the hard, or I could have some cocktails with my friends on the beach. Easy. Now, easy's good. You need a little bit of easy. You can't just make your life one perpetual.
But practice makes everything easy.
Right. But the things that come really easy usually over time become hard.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that I was using that for is exercise. You know what? What's easy is not exercising. What's easy for me is doing the cardio because I've done cardio. What's hard for me is the strength training and the weights. What I need to do is the hard now. It will become easy, but the easy isn't getting me really the results I want at the end of the day because it was too easy and there's no results there.
Right. Or your body is already, you've already built a resistance up to it, so it's not doing anything. So this one was a good one. You will suffer either way. So suffer for something that's worthwhile. There is no life without pain, but there is a difference between meaningless pain and meaningful sacrifice. Purpose doesn't remove suffering, it gives it a reason. Avoiding suffering is a dead end. Choosing it wisely is the path to power. I thought that was really good. It's like when we were doing 75 hard, you choose your hard, life is hard.
Right.
And
that was one thing, running was the hardest thing I had ever done, exercise-wise. Now, lifting weights is the hardest thing I've ever done. I'm almost like, maybe I should start running again.
I was going to say, what are the two worst exercises? What are your two worst exercises that you have to do?
I'm just weak. Lifting anything is a big deal.
Well,
mine
would be running because I hate running. I just feel like it's so bleh. It takes you a long time to get into that zone to be, when your endorphins are
But then there's nothing like the endorphins of it. Trying to find the endorphins of running.
But I feel like you can get that on a bike. You can do that with, I just feel like there's different areas. Swimming,
So but you have to really do it a lot hard. Swimming hard, yes. You can totally
and my other one would be push-ups.
Yeah.
Push-ups and pull-ups. This got to be like the three worst exercises in the world.
So I started dangling. So what they said is you're never going to be able to do, if you don't have hand strength, and people think those little grippers make hand strength, they don't.
No.
Holding your body weight, holding heavy weight is what makes grip strength. So they said you'll never do a pull-up until you have enough grip strength that you can hold on to the bar to pull yourself up. So step one is practice dangling from the bar, 1 second, 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 30 seconds. I think I'm on 20-something seconds. I can hold myself up on the bar.
Awesome.
And so that's what I'm doing now as one of the things when I'm doing my strength training. But I watched on Instagram, I think there are 4 men who rowed a boat across the Atlantic Ocean.
Oh.
You know how big the Atlantic Ocean?
How big was the boat?
It barely fit 4 people. Oh. And they rowed in an ocean across to the UK for some charity. So every day is like day 1, day 2, And I'm like, I'm going to start rowing. I have a rowing machine downstairs.
I love rowing.
And the other day, I got up to 22 minutes. And I'm like, that was just, the first day I did 5 minutes. Then I did 7 minutes. And it's just like.
Can you imagine now rowing for 12 hours a day?
So they said they had to take shifts. They could never not row so 2 people always had to be rowing because you would just drift.
Yeah.
So they had to row perpetually for
so
60
on a boat
days.
With no engine?
No. But it was fascinating.
Did they have a tent, a canopy over the top of
So
their
they
roof?
could sleep in this. I'll send you the link on Instagram.
It's like a rowboat?
It's a rowboat, a slightly bigger rowboat. Well, what I thought was so fascinating is what crazy person is doing this, and now I'm rooting for them.
Of course, yeah, that would be fun, but I would be like, no, I do not want to take part in any of that. I will be a cheerleader, but
I do not need to take part in this either, but I'll be really impressed by
so
somebody
you
else
have to
doing
go
it.
get wet in the ocean every time you have to go poop or pee.
I didn't even think of that. Well,
unless you hang over the side.
I'm sure. No, I'm sure there. I'm assuming there's a bathroom underneath. I'm assuming there's.
Oh, you can go underneath?
They sleep underneath. I'm going to send you the video.
But I keep thinking like Life of Pi.
Yeah.
You know?
But it's funny how one small thing just jogs, because the part of me that wants to give up is like, well, at least I'm not in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. You can't give up in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. So I do another 5 minutes. But all of this is kind of talking about you want to pick your hard. You want to do some hard things because it's good for overcoming limitations or overcoming obstacles, because life is just constantly going to throw obstacles at you.
Yeah, especially when when you start looking at life as like that you know that you're going to have obstacles. Which ones do you surrender and which ones do you overcome? Is this a hill that I want to climb, or is this not? You know, is it something I don't? But we're all going to suffer. There's no way around it.
But at least if you're suffering what you really want, you're not betraying yourself. There is that idea. When I was younger, my family wanted me to do something that I didn't want to do, but I wanted them to be happy. They had enough problems, and I would do it, and then they would not be happy, and I would be so resentful. I'm only doing this for you, for your happiness, and you're not happy. And then I would revert to like, I'm not doing anything you want me to do because it doesn't get me anywhere. You're not happy. You claim if I do this thing, you'll be happy, and then you're not happy. There's an element of when you betray yourself too often, you're mad at yourself, and then you're really resentful of another person because you weren't taking care of yourself in that, or you were doing it at your expense.
You've given your power away.
Yeah.
And you knew that something like in your body, in your gut, in your core, that was not like the right thing.
Right. But if you're doing it because if you're doing that struggle for your purpose, and I hate the word purpose, just like I hate the word funnel. At any given time, I think there's seasons. Your purpose when your children are 1 are a different purpose than when your children are 20.
Well, I also think your purpose can be different from year to year. So it's just not it's the weight, the value that we attach to it. But I also like, you talked about suffering versus struggling. Like when suffering is, I feel like suffering is at somebody else's expense, or it's a lack of action.
Oh, I don't know. I feel like the Buddha talks about suffering endlessly.
Well, but struggling is, I feel like it's working towards your goal. I mean, it's going to be hard. I feel like if you're suffering with being overweight, choosing your hard, you are choosing to suffer. You're not choosing to struggle.
Right, because it would be uncomfortable.
Because suffering is, to me, feels like an inaction word, whereas struggling is. Does that make sense?
It does. It does. So the struggle, the struggle is useful. The suffering is not.
I just feel like suffering doesn't have. I feel like it's a debilitating word for me. I feel like it's a word that says you have no power, you have no control.
And I think the struggle is useful where suffering is not useful.
Yes,
there's a usefulness, because if you're struggling, it's because it's hard. It may get easier. You're maybe struggling because it's the wrong thing for you, and you're fighting against.
Well, maybe it comes into our life as suffering. Maybe it comes into our field of awareness of suffering is like, oh, that's pain, that's an ouch. And then what we choose to do with it, whether we choose to let it be an inactive pain, or do we turn that into struggle? Because we talked about it too. Like even in the Bible, there's joy and suffering. It's not that I have to. I'm so happy that I'm suffering. I'm actually choosing an action word. I'm choosing to be happy despite of this ache, this pain.
Yeah. So the Buddhist teaching defines suffering, which encompasses physical pain, mental distress, and deeper existential unsatisfactoriness. Or uneasiness inherent in life. The suffering stems from craving and ignorance about the impermanent nature of reality, leading to an attachment to things that are inherently unstable. Great book, Pema Chopra, Living with Uncertainty. You have to understand we want control. we control nothing.
Right.
We control nothing.
And the more that we can surrender to it, and it's,
we can at least control ourselves or our reaction to ourselves, but the rest of it is all out of our control.
well, that's why that movie, that little, was it Pixar movie that I just had it. We were talking about it with Jen.
Oh, yes.
It's such a great, with the IFS community. I can't remember the name of it right this second. It's all about the emotions. You're not just one emotion.
Right.
You're just, you're a conglomerate of, you're a bunch of these emotions, but getting them to work together and knowing, like, not allowing one. It says
to overtake you.
Yes. You are wired for emotion, but built to regulate it. Feeling your emotions is not enough. Mental health comes from being able to name, hold, and use your emotions, not be hijacked by them. The unregulated feel stuck. The regulated move forward even when it's hard.
And so that's one thing that I think...
I'll go suffering to struggling.
Yeah, I say this all the time, and you're probably not on board with this as much as I'm on board with it. But working out and doing that suck is a physical component. Somehow strengthens my mental resilience.
Yeah.
Because I can be uncomfortable.
Yes.
It's not the end of the world.
Right.
I can live in discomfort and uncomfortable.
Well, I think that's part of figuring out what life is all about for humans, is learning to be comfortable in the uncomfortable.
Yeah.
That's what moves us forward, but it's also, it helps grows us too, but it's how anything you do, like going to school, going to college, going to work out,
Picking weeds.
Yes, doing, learning a new skill, getting a job, a career, all of those things. There's so much uncertainty, having relationships, putting yourself out into the dating world. There's so much uncertainty in the world. And like, once we actually can grasp, like, actually we have a tool. If we can learn to be comfortable with the uncomfortable, I think that's a good idea.
I think that's what yoga teaches you. Because you're slightly... And the funny thing about yoga is you're like, I'm just standing still. Why is this so hard all of a sudden? Who knew standing still was such an issue?
I balance on one foot all the time cooking dinner. Now I can't do it now.
For 10 seconds in this class with some, add some sweat on me.
I know. I'm like, spread my toes out. Make my feet really wide. And I'm like, now I feel like even more wobbly. You just do it without thinking about it.
Right.
I could do it all day long.
Right. But all of a sudden, yeah. But it's being uncomfortable in the discomfort, or being comfortable in the discomfort, and understanding it's not going to be forever.
Yeah.
And giving yourself some easy, and giving yourself some hard, and overcoming some stuff. And I think what would someone say is delusional that you firmly believe?
About me?
Yeah. What's a delusion you hold?
I don't know. My whole life.
Pick any one of these. Pick any of these 50 years.
I think some of it is the way I live my life. I think some of my decisions, they've looked back and being like, what?
I think you have awesome memories and adventures. And you always seemed, and it's probably the why not both mentality that you have, that like when you tell me stories, because we've only been friends for a short window of time, so you've had so much life before me. And I love hearing your stories. I love hearing you pedaling in your bike through towns to get ice cream. Like, I just love these stories. I love these memories and these adventures.
I think before I consciously knew that I was already writing my story. But I'm like, this is the kind of memory. And what prompted a lot of those was, I want my kids to have an amazing childhood. Because I look back on my childhood and I think about some really great moments. And I think that was the thing that just prompted me being like, well, why not? Like, why do we have to limit ourselves? I think where some people would think that I would be delusional. Here's one, and super vulnerable, that I won a bikini contest in my 50s.
That is awesome.
So I think that people would be like, what? There's so many people that are telling us in the world that you should not be wearing a bikini, but here I am. Like, I just got $300 for winning a bikini contest.
Yes.
So that would be a delusional.
Yeah. That's awesome. So you just recent. This is like a recent delusion.
Yes.
I love it.
Like 3 months ago.
I love it. I love it.
So what about you?
And I would say it's not delusional because of course you would win a bikini contest. I'm like, yeah, I'm putting money. Do I get to bet? I take pictures of her in a beans, and I know what she looks like. I could have told you.
Thank you.
Don't bet against me. No, don't bet against me.
So what do you think? What would be yours?
I think people think I'm delusional that I can put out a cookbook that will sell because I'm a realtor.
That's a good one. But then I feel like then they don't really know you.
Right. Or they think it's delusional because they don't understand the correlation.
Because you love food. You love writing.
Yes.
You love stories. Like there's so many.
I love cooking for people.
There's so much more to you there's so much more to you, of you, about you than just real estate or business. Yes, you are a badass business woman. No doubt about that, hands up. But you are so much more than just a realtor or a property manager or
the business side. Yeah, but I think so many people can't wait to tell me how there's no money in that, publishing's dead. You know, the average person only sells 500 books. Like they constantly tell me the reasons why I shouldn't put my effort forward towards something that's my dream. And I don't care what you have to say. It's not your dream. It's my dream.
Listen to your gut and stop listening to naysayers.
Yes. And stuff is hard.
You are the only person. You are the only person that can tell you that you can't do something.
That's right. So
I mean, if you're older than 18, let me just clarify. I don't think we have any kids on here, but
I know, but we might have a few.
Lisa and Robin said I could do that.
Have a wonderful week. Until next Thursday, go do fun things. Summer. Don't forget to summer as a verb.
Yes, summer, summer, summer.
You're listening to Lisa and Robin on the mic on WSMN, 1590 AM, 95.3 FM. You can always watch, stream, and listen on WSMN.live. Bye.
WSMN 95.3 FM Nashua. Listen, watch, and stream at WSMN.live.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. Hurricane Erin is hundreds of miles offshore, but the impacts are apparent on beaches up and down the East Coast, including along the Jersey Shore. ABC's Brian Clark is there.
The beach in this summer hub is almost empty. 25-mile-an-hour winds are stretching out a red flag on an empty lifeguard stand that carries a stark message: no swimming. Beaches are closed to swimming up and down New Jersey as Erin fuels 15-foot waves and arrives during a summer of already deadly rip currents. We're just a few blocks from where a 13-year-old girl drowned last week. Brian Clark, ABC News, Belmar, New Jersey.
An appeals court has thrown out the massive civil fraud penalty against President Trump, ruling that the $355 million in penalties he was ordered to pay for exaggerating his wealth was excessive. Uganda has agreed on a deal with the United States to take deported migrants on the condition that they don't have criminal records. This is ABC News. Ukraine's Air Force saying Russia fired more than 600 drones and ballistic missiles overnight into western Ukraine, while that Putin-Zelensky meeting remains only in the planning stages.
We are hearing new demands from Russia insisting that they need to sign off on any potential security guarantee that the United States or European leaders provide to Ukraine in case there is a peace deal. The president suggested that Putin was on board with this idea, and then his special envoy, Steve Witkoff, went on television and said that it was a major concession, calling it game-changing.
That's ABC senior political correspondent Rachel Scott at the White House. Retired Providence, Rhode Island Municipal Court Judge